Hello my dear friends, welcome to the subject of social science for the class 10th English medium. The chapter is 10, that is 10.1, as the chapter of India agriculture is quite big, so I have divided them into two parts. So this will be the first part by Vitan sir. Now, before we start with this India agriculture, let us check what we studied in the last tutorial. First of all, we studied about the forest and the wildlife or the biodiversity of India. Then we studied about the types of forest that were based on administration and ownership. Then the deforestation, what is deforestation, what are its impacts and what are the remedies of deforestation. Then wildlife, the extinction of wildlife and how to stop that extinction. Then various projects like tiger, elephant, rhino projects, vulture projects for stopping wildlife extinction in India. Also we studied about sanctuaries, national parks and the bioreserves created for the protection of the wildlife. So that was what we studied in that chapter. That was the chapter number 9. Now this is the chapter number 10, and what we are going to study is about the agriculture, its development and various crops sown and produced in India. Now, since ancient times, agriculture is a very big, very prime activity, economic activity of the India. Most of the population from since ancient times have been doing this thing. Agriculture produces food and we need food to live. So agriculture is the most essential activity for living. Agriculture is an important resource of India. About 60% labor power is engaged in agriculture right now. Nowadays it is 45 to 47%. It was 60% before. It provides us raw materials for many industries. Agriculture occupies 22% of the national product. Once again, that was in the past. Right now it is 17 to 19%. The Indian economy is mainly dependent on agriculture. Crops and other farm products hold about 18% contribution in exports. That is, India's exports, 18% of the exports have agricultural products in it. Thus, we can say that India is an agrarian economy, agrarian country, nation. In most of the areas, two or more crops annually can be taken due to the factors like fertile plains, favorable climate, and irrigation, hardworking farmers, etc. That means every year we can take two or more crops. Most of the places has this kind of a characteristic. Even then, the progress in the field of agriculture is actually not sufficient. Farmers are usually poor. Production is much less compared to the other countries of the world. The reason could be not enough irrigation, irregular and uncertainty of rains, more population, larger families, smaller farms, and there is no interest in experimenting with the agriculture. Also, the less use of chemical fertilizers and modern machinery and scientific approach for cultivation. There are so many reasons why our agriculture is backward than most of the countries of the world. We can discuss it at the length forever and it will never end. So let's just move forward to our main topic here. We will start with the types of farming. The first one, subsistence farming. As you can see in the picture, basically the activity to just barely make the living, that's farming, is called subsistence farming. That is, you just farm enough so that you can just live. You can't earn much, you can't be rich, you can't have too many luxury, you can just barely live. This is due to the costly seeds, pesticides, fertilizers and very slow economic development. So that is called the subsistence farming, that you can only just live from the farming, nothing else. Second is the dry farming. As you can see in the picture itself, in areas with low rainfall and less irrigation facilities, farming is done based only on rain, and therefore only one crop per year is taken. Jowar, millet and pulses are grown in such farming. Then the third type of farming is the wet farming. As the word implies, it is done where very high rainfall or a very good facility of irrigation is available. Usually two or more crops can be taken due to irrigation and rain on such places. Usually the crops like cotton, sugarcane, wheat and vegetables are grown in this kind of places. Shifting agriculture. Now this is a bit different. As you can see in this picture, a part of the forest is burnt down, and in that cleared away space the farming is undertaken for almost 2 to 3 years till the land retains its fertility. After the fertility of the land goes down, another part of the forest is burnt down, and then again the same process is repeated for many time. So that is called shifting or the zoom agriculture. That in this method the field keeps on shifting. Crops like vegetables are usually grown in this kind of plantation agriculture. Now plantation basically means those plants which need more capital, high level of skills, very good knowledge, protection, many fertilizers and huge care. Usually plants like rubber, tea, coffee, coconut, apple, mango, etc. are taken with great labor. So plantation agriculture basically means those very high quality plants. Mango trees, for example, if we say, or tea plants, if we say, they need a huge care, they need a lot of money, chemicals, pesticides, fertilizers, proper climate. They need so much labor to grow them, and then they are sold for very high prices. So that's a plantation agriculture. Intensive farming. So in intensive farming, it is a mechanized way of farming. Basically intensive farming is a mechanized farming with irrigation, pesticides, fertilizers. As you can see in this picture, it's a greenhouse created. So all the technologies, techniques are used for farming in this intensive farming. Mainly cash crops are grown using this method. The cash crops are grown uh, that is cotton and sugarcane, which can earn us good amount of money. Farming methods, various methods of farming used. The before we studied was types of farmings. Now this is the farming method. First one is the organic farming. Now organic farming is really the future of agriculture, as the reason is that the use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides is actually very harmful for our health and as well as the field itself. So the farming is done without using any chemical fertilizers or insecticides or pesticides, and just the natural products are used. This way is known as the organic farming. Now in this method what we used are cow dung, vermicompost, that is the fertilizers created out of worms, cow urine, buttermilk, bio waste, etc. In the place of chemical fertilizers and insecticides. What happens that farming by this method actually preserves the nutritional qualities of the products which we eat or consume, as well as the real taste and fragrance. Not only that, organic farming keeps the fields fertile for infinite periods. On opposite, the chemical fertilizers destroy our farms in just 5 to 10 years. Even today the demand of organic products is actually increasing a lot. Sustainable farming. Now sustainable farming means to preserve the fertility of the soil for the very long period of time, and implementing such measures to keep that fertility intact. So the care is taken through crop rotation, using chemical fertilizers in less quantity only where they are absolutely necessary, using biotic insecticide control and water conservation. The third farming method is the mixed farming. Now in the mixed farming, along with growing crops, poultries, fisheries, cattle rearing, sericulture, etc. is also carried out, and that is with the regular farming equipments and activities, so that we call them the mixed farming. Here, as you can see, the sericulture, you might not be familiar with it. Sericulture is growing the silkworms from whom we can get the silk. In this picture, those silkworm rearing farm is shown. That silkworms are reared like this in the farms. They create their cocoons, and then from those cocoons the silk is extracted. So we call that the sericulture. So poultries, fisheries, cattle rearing and sericulture are done along with the regular farming. We call that the mixed farming. Now we will move forward towards the various agricultural products of India. Now this is the very important topic for this chapter. The maximum part of the chapter is covered under this particular topic, that various agricultural products of. We will start with according to seasons. As per the seasons, the agricultural products are divided into three parts. Kharif crops, that is the monsoon season; Rabi crops, that is the winter season; and Zaid crops, that is the summer season. So crops taken in monsoon are called Kharif, winter is Rabi, and summer is Zaid. Let us understand them in detail. Kharif crops are taken during the monsoon season or the rainy seasons, that is during the months of June, July to October, November. Now the examples of these crops are paddy, maize, till, etc. As you can see in this picture itself, these are the various crops. Then comes the winter crops, the rabi crops. They are taken during the winter season, you can say from the months of October, November to March, April. The example of these crops could be wheat, gram, linseed, etc. Then comes the Zad, that is the summer crops. As you can see in the summer, maximum fruits are taken during this time period. So it is also the period for fruits and vegetables. So the months are between March to June. Examples are groundnuts, millets, vegetables, fruits, etc. Now, these are the major agricultural products of India. All over the world, many produces are there. In India, also thousands of crops are taken, but these are the main crops which are taken in India in a large quantity. As you can see in the food grains, these are paddy, wheat, jowar, millet, maize, and barley. If you talk about the pulses, it is tuar, mung, gram, peas, bean, mud, urad, and lentils. Then if we talk about the oilseeds, it is the groundnut, till, soybean, castor, mustard, sunflower, coconut, and linseed. Beverages are tea, coffee, cocoa. Cash crops are cotton, sugarcane, jute, tobacco, rubber. Condiments are cumin seed, fennel, isabgol. Condiments basically means the mukhwas, we can say. Rajnigandha and then pan bahar, pan masala, etc. etc. So condiments and spices are always spoken of together. So isabgol, coriander, fenugreek, ajwan, ajmo, black pepper, garlic. Fruits are mango, banana, chiku, papaya, grape, jujube, apple, guava. Vegetables, all of you have already eaten a lot of vegetables in your life, so these are the various vegetables. So these are the major agricultural products of India. You may not need to remember this, but keep them in mind. We will start with the food grains. These are the main staple food of the Indian. Grains are cultivated in about 75% of the total area sown, and about 50% of the total production comes from the grains. Major food grains are as follows. One is paddy, then comes wheat, jowar, millet, maize, pulses, and the nagli. We will discuss all of these grains one by one. We will start with the paddy. As you can see in the picture, the first picture shows you how the paddy is sown, the second one shows you how it is grown, and the third one is the complete paddy, that is rice. the large majority of world and half population of India uses rice. Also, India stands second after China in the paddy production. It is sown in one-fourth total sown area of India. That is, the one-fourth total sown area of India is sown with paddy. Paddy needs hot, humid climate, fertile alluvial soil, and minimum temperature of 20 degrees Celsius with 100 centimeter of the minimum rainfall. It is grown with irrigation in Punjab, Haryana, and Uttar Pradesh. Also, major paddy producing states could be listed as Tamil Nadu, West Bengal, Bihar, etc. Apart from them, in Gujarat, paddy is basically grown in Surat, Tapi, Panchmahal, Valda, etc. district. Sometimes paddy is grown using sprinklers to use less water, and the next crop in the list is the wheat. As all of us know, wheat is the second most important crop of India, sown in one-third of the total sown area. It is an essential for the northwest part of India, that is in the northwest part of India. We can say Gujarat, Maharashtra, Rajasthan, Punjab, etc. It is very important. It requires black, fertile, and loamy soil and more than 75 centimeter of rainfall annually. After Green Revolution, wheat production is doubled. That is very important topic, very important point. It is cultivated mostly in Haryana, UP, Punjab, who contribute two-thirds of the nation's production. Punjab has maximum wheat production and therefore it is also called the wheat ball of India. Gujarat produces many varieties of wheat. Among them, one is the Balia wheat produced in the Bhal region of Gujarat. Among all grains, wheat is the most nutritious. Hence, it is called the king of grains. This map of India shows the area of India where wheat and paddy are sown. The cross lines are the wheat and the straight lines are the paddy, and where both of those lines collide you can see the checks design. Yeah, so from this you can get a rough estimate where wheat and paddy are grown. As you can see in the lower parts of the Gujarat, paddy is grown, but in the wheat is grown, but in the south Gujarat side the paddy is also grown, while in the Kutch side none of the paddy or wheat are grown. As you can see in the MP, the Maharashtra area, wheat is the maximum, while in the south side and the east side the paddy is more, while in the UP area paddy and wheat both are grown in the extensive method. As you can see in the Assam also paddy is grown extensively. So these are the areas where paddy and wheat are grown. Next comes the jowar. As you can see, you might have seen this grain in your life and you might not know what to call it. Jowar, also known as juwar in Gujarati, it is grown in dry and less rainy southern peninsula of India. Southern peninsula, basically we know from our 9th standard what is the southern peninsula is. There this jowar is produced in the maximum. It is both a kharif and the rabi crop. It needs a temperature between 25 to 30 degrees Celsius, needs 125 centimeter of rainfall, or irrigation is also enough. It needs black and loamy soil. It is produced mainly in Maharashtra, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat, etc. regions. In Gujarat, it is mostly produced in Surat and Tapi districts. The next crop is the millet. Millets are considered the crops of the poor or the laborers because they are highly nutritious, they are cheap, they are easy to cook, easily available, so they are the grains of the laborers and the poor. Grown in the areas with 25 to 30 degrees Celsius temperature and needs 40 to 50 centimeter rainfall and sandy light soil. It is produced in Rajasthan, Gujarat, UP, Maharashtra, and in Gujarat it is produced usually in Banaskantha district, which leads the production. Next is the maize. Maize means basically makai. We call it the bhutta in the Hindi. It is considered called. It is a kharif crop. It is widely produced around the world after paddy and wheat. That is, in the world, the maize has the third rank. The first is paddy. The second is wheat. So it contains starch, oil, biofuel, and that is the reason that it is also used for the industrial production. It needs sloppy, black, hard and rock soil for the better production. It needs a rainfall between 50 to 100 centimeters and 21 to 27 degrees Celsius temperature is required for the production of the maize, that is makai. It is used for animal fodder, dhani and oil. But not just that, it is also used as a staple food of people. Major states which produce maize are Rajasthan, UP, Bihar, etc. Whereas in Gujarat, it is grown in Panchmahal, Dahod, Sabarkantha and Arvalli districts. We will move forward towards the pulses. As you can see in the picture, the plethora of pulses are there in this picture. This is the main source of protein for vegetarian people. Those who are vegetarian and does not eat the non-vegetarian things, their protein is uh, received from pulses and milk only. Tuvar, moong, gram, peas, mud, urad, etc. Only some example of the various varieties of pulses. They are grown in all states except those with heavy rainfalls. That means pulses don't sustain heavy rainfalls. They just need a mediocre amount of rainfall for their sustenance. So if there is a heavy rainfall, they get destroyed. In Gujarat, tuve is sown in Vadodara, moong and mut in Kutch, urad in Patan, etc. Pulses restore nitrogen in the soil and therefore they are used as intercrops between main food crops. That is, whatever the main food crops are there, in between them pulses are grown so that the what we can say, the nitrogen in the soil is refurbished properly and the soil retains its fertility. This is something which you should know additionally, that Nagli, also known as Ragi, is a very important grass food crop. We can say that it's a grass food crop sown in Gujarat. Nagli is the staple food for Adivasi. Adivasi basically means Vanvasi, Jangalvasi people in the hilly regions. Among all the grass food crops in Gujarat and India, Nagli has the maximum production, as you can see. It is also known as finger millet or African millet. So Nagli is a type of a millet which we have already seen. It is known as bauta in Gujarati. Remember this word bauta in Gujarati. Nagli is extremely nutritious grass food crop and there is more protein, minerals and vitamins in its grain. Remember this point. As there are very high fiber content in Nagli, it is very advantageous for the patients of diabetes and cardiac patients. So Nagli is good for diabetes and cardiac diseases. The calcium and iron is also more in Nagli, so it is used for removing malnutrition. Remember this, malnutrition can also be removed using the Nagli. The Adivasi farmers eat rotala made from the Nagli flour. Besides biscuits, chocolate, toast, naan khatai, etc. can also be made using the Nagli, so it becomes highly nutritious. It also has medicinal properties and it is quite easy to digest. Next, we will be talking about the oil seeds. Now, edible oil is extracted from the oil seeds and the remaining oil cake is used as animal fodder and also as a biotic manure. Various oil seeds could be groundnut, sesame or til, mustard, coconut and castor. We will see one by one. The first oil seed we are going to discuss is the groundnut. Groundnut, also known as the shing, that is shing tail we call it. It needs black and a mixture of sandy and loamy soil. It needs a land without retaining water, that means the land should not catch water in it. It needs 20 to 25 degrees Celsius of temperature and 50 to 70 centimeter of rainfalls. In Gujarat, Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu are the major states who produce the groundnuts. Also, in India, that is, India ranks second after China in groundnut production. Gujarat leads the country in the production, and it is used more as edible oil in Gujarat. That is, groundnuts are basically used for edible oil. Next is the sesame or the til, that is tal tel. We call it tal oil, sesame oil. You have seen these sesame seeds. These are white sesames. Then comes the black sesames, kala tal, safed tal. Those are the words used for them. These are the safed tals. They are very important, very famous, while widely used. It is used in India since ancient times. And if we talk about the sides, in north it is considered a kharif crop, while in the south India it is rabi and sometimes a zaid crop. It has maximum oil content, that means the proportion, the percentage of oil contained in its seeds is the maximum, and it is used everywhere in the world. Gujarat ranks first in tal production in India. And in Gujarat, Banaskantha does maximum tal, and India is the largest exporter of tal in the world. The next oil seed is the mustard, also known as rai, that is rainu tel or the mustard oil. It is quite hot. It is very heavy oil. It is usually used in winter seasons. It is a rabi crop of the North India. Mustard seed and oil are also used as edible oil as well as medicines. Rajasthan, UP, West Bengal, Gujarat, etc. are the major producers of this. The next oil seeds or the oil fruits or plant is the coconut, is something which all of us already knows. It is a plantation crop of hot and humid climate at the coastline parts, that is the sea shores of saline land. Saline basically means the land which has a high salt content. It is produced in Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Andaman, Nicobars, etc. In Gujarat, it is grown in coastline regions. In South India, oil is extracted and it is used as edible oil. It is not just actually used as edible oil, it is used for cooking, it is used for massaging, it is used in head. Everywhere the coconut oil is used in the South India. Its water has many medicinal properties and it is used as a health drink too. The castor oil. Castor is also known as divel. So castor, also known as divel, is a very sticky and very thick oil, but it has many medicinal properties. It is both kharif and rabi. India is the largest producer of castor with 64% of world's total production. 80% production of India comes from Gujarat. That just means that Gujarat is the largest producer of castor in the whole world. Other states are Rajasthan and now, at the end of this first part of the 10th chapter, let us see what we studied in this tutorial. Have a quick glance. What is farming? What is the situation of agriculture in India? Next, the types of farming, then the methods of farming, the 6 types, the 3 methods. Various crops of India. There were 3 types of crops basically, Kharif, Rabi and Zaid. Then the food grains and the oil seeds, the types which we studied. Now what we are going to do next time, that is in the second part of the 10th chapter, we will discuss about the beverages, tea, coffee, etc., cash crops, cotton, sugarcane, etc., and the various reforms made in the Indian agriculture. So with this I end this tutorial here. Next time we will meet again with the second part of the 10th chapter. Till then, stay tuned, stay home and stay safe. Hope I meet you all soon.